Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to keep this right off the top of my head and try to stay on topic, but it's on the situation of the way that the world is working right now, right? So now we've seen that a lot of things are just feeling really miserable these days, Everyone uses the excuse, I think Mercury's in retrograde, and things are just not seeming right for us as people, A lot of people are single and they're alone, they're lonely, and the world is just full of so much sin right now. So it's a situation of, are we close to the end times? Now, my answer is yes, of course we are. And I mean, there's a lot of evidence for that. A lot of women are single and a lot of men love to use that as a weapon, like you're single and you're going to die alone. Yes, most of us are probably going to die alone. I rebuke and reject that with myself, but still, there's been a lot of stories of like mental illnesses are on the increase and suicides are on the increase. Even young kids are feeling pressure from social media, from their family members. The world is just in utter chaos right now. So now I just wanted to read a Bible verse, 2 Timothy chapter 3, and it goes, "Be sure of this, in the last days, hard times will come. People will love themselves. They will love money. They will talk about themselves and be proud. They will say wrong things about people. They will not obey their parents. They will not be thankful. They will not keep anything holy. They will have no love. They will not agree with anybody. They will tell lies about people. They will have no self-control. They will beat people. They will not love anything that is good. They cannot be trusted. They will act quickly without thinking. They are proud of themselves. They love to have fun more than they love God. They act as if they worshipped God, yet they do not let God's power work in their lives. Keep away from people like that. They are the kind who go quietly into people's houses. There they get foolish women to believe them. These women know that they have done many wrong things, and they want to do many kinds of wrong things. They are always trying to learn, but never able to find out what is really true." James and Jambres were two men who were very much against Moses. In the same way, these men I am talking about are against what is true. They are men who have wrong thoughts in their minds. They do not believe. But these men will not get very far. Everyone will see that they are wrong, just as people saw that James and Jambres were wrong. Okay, so now after reading that, I just want to reflect on the words, because even now as I read it, I was just sort of having a lot of realizations, right? So now it starts with, "Be sure of this, in the last days hard times will come." And now we already see this pandemic. Now I do have hope in my heart that things are going to go back to normal. I still have hopes for the future and things like that, even though I've been going through a rough patch just as everyone else has. And then in the second verse it says, "People will love themselves, they will love money, and they will talk about themselves and be proud." So there's a whole lot of self-love talk that's been going around the internet, especially if you're a woman, a young woman like myself. It's just like a talk of love yourself, love yourself. And yes, that is the case. It's important to try to love yourself, but I know for myself, it's reached a point where I've become so selfish and I just feel so distant from my body because of this, Loving yourself means to be in tune with who you are. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's just making us separate from ourselves and just looking at ourselves as an object, like, hey, you should love yourself, you should look like this, you should act like this. And it's not helping. Meanwhile, places in the Bible say to love God as much as you love God more than anything else, and then love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. And it's just like, I don't know, things just seem really messed up. And then it says they will love money. I know with the petrol prices, the gas prices going up, it's really difficult to not think about money, since a lot of us are being strapped, and we're just like, we have to pay for our university, pay the bills, and money is just a huge stressor in life. And I fully 100% agree that money is the root of all evil, but for me, I know ever since I started working, like having a part-time job, it's just like, for me, I just love money. I love the idea of money, and now I'm realizing I should be so ashamed of that, even though I've been proud up until this very moment. I've just been like, oh, I love money, I get to buy whatever I want for Easter. I've been telling my friends that, and it's just like, oh, I need to change this mindset. I shouldn't worry about money. I hope I can put up the text here, but the Bible says, don't worry about things, otherwise you're taking your faith away from God and you're just worrying, to the point where you struggle to sleep. Your mind is worrying about a bunch of things, whereas you should give your worries to God. And that's really what I need to do. And then the verse goes on to say, "They will talk about themselves and be proud." A lot of us do that. We're all very self-centered, and I think it's time for, hopefully we can reach a point where we're just like, I want to go help people. I want to be more selfless instead of selfish, even though I know a lot of people want to be more selfish. Yeah, it's I'm a bit embarrassed, but I hope I can change this mindset. God, please help me. So then it goes on to say, they will say wrong things about people, they will not obey their parents, and they will not be thankful. If this isn't me, I don't even know what to say. Oh, I feel like it's just so accurate, specifically to me, and it's just like, I don't want to be like this, but it is the way that I am right now, and I'm just hoping to change. And then it says they will not keep anything holy. I'm taking that as a Sabbath day. This is just me explaining my mind, but yeah, no one takes the Sabbath day holy anymore. And you know what shocked me most, and I think this is a very unpopular opinion, I was really shocked to know that the most like prideful place in the world, prideful in the sense of the LGBT community, is Israel. Yeah, they have like pride every year and stuff like that, but I was just shocked. I was like, the Holy Land is promoting something that I'm not sure that they promoted, you know, in Judaism, and I'm just confused and I'm shocked. But it's not up to me to judge, you know. One thing that I am is really judgmental, and I'm hoping to change it. I really want that gone. God, please hear me now, take it away, please. Anyway, so verse 3 goes on to say, they will have no love. You know, we've become a more wicked society. It feels enjoyable to hear negative news. You know, negative news sells so fast compared to if you hear positive news on the radio or in the news, in the media. And then they will not agree with anybody. There's so much discord, there's so much division. It's insane how the Bible is literally coming to fruition, coming true before our very eyes. They will tell lies about people. They will have no self-control, and they will beat people. Now, I'm going to take beat in the sense of literally fighting and punching. If you can find a better word or definition, then you can move on from there and decipher for that one yourself. But there's so much violence and there's so much scary news media out here in the world, and it's insane. I think one of the next few videos I'm hoping to do will be a reaction to another YouTuber talking about like interracial relationships and just the violence that's happening between relationships as well. So they will not love anything that is good. They cannot be trusted. They will act quickly without thinking. A lot of us are doing that. I know that I do that, and I've been thinking a lot about mental health and just like people who suffer from ADHD, the fact that you have no self-control, you are impulsive, you do things like on a whim. It's just, it also does play a factor into it, and it's important for each one of us to take care of our mental health. You know, we have the Holy Spirit in us, so we should take care of the body, you know, the temple that God has given us. They are proud of themselves, and they love to have fun more than they love God. This is so true. I know a lot of people try to avoid the topic of God or religion because of the life they're living. Of course you won't want to talk about God because you subconsciously feel ashamed for the things that you're doing. Anyway, they act as if they worship God. Okay, I want to skip through this and just let me just bring it up here right now. So a lot of men bash black women, specifically bash women in general. You know, there's a lot of channels out here just like talking about hypergamy and gold diggers and things like that, and it just sucks so badly. You know, it's just like, I think hypergamy has been a thing like forever. Like, women want to go to the stronger man, and this isn't the place for me to share my opinion, but it's just like we're coming towards the end times, and I'm just like, guys, can we please read our Bibles and get back to it? But I know I was fully taken away from the Bible. Like, schoolwork has intensified, and even though I should be reading my Bible more, I was more distant. I was like, no, I need to study. You know, I'm feeling stressed. But now I just want to become closer to God, and I know that He will make life so much easier for me if I just come to Him. And I'm just like, God, please relieve me from the stress, help me to remember things. And yeah, sometimes we just tend to lose sight of things like this. So now, yeah, a lot of the negative men online kind of follow verse 6, where they are the kind who go quietly into people's houses. There they get foolish women to believe them. These women know that they have done many wrongs, and they want to do many kinds of wrong things. So yeah, don't listen to people on the internet, please. I know I'm on the internet as well, and sometimes we practice what we don't practice what we preach. So now it's just like, take everything with a grain of salt. I'm definitely going to learn to do that. Anyway, so now we're going to jump to Matthew 24 verse 36 and onwards. So it says, but about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in those days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark, and they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. So now think, if Noah was here right now, a lot of us would be abandoned, okay? And it's crazy to think of the number of us that are actually really sinful, you know? And it's just so scary to think about. And it kind of makes you feel hopeless and like giving up. That's how I feel. Yeah, so now please don't lose hope. We can do it. It's a day by day type of thing, you know, take baby steps to just read your Bible and then just try to pray very deeply to God. I really hope I need it right now. Like, I really do need it. So I'm kind of like talking to myself or making this for myself, but we can do it. Okay. Yeah. And that's, oh, another thing that struck out to me was I saw a YouTube video about Japan, like 2 videos specifically about Japan. And it was like, okay, so the first one was on the fact that Japanese people are very cold-hearted and they don't like care for each other. They view each other as a collective instead of as an individual. And you would think that would help them to help each other to build their society, but instead it separates them so much. Like, they are willing to step over a dead body to get to work, to hustle, to grind, and that really plays into the fact that society has just become so wicked. It's so scary to think. Like, if you are hit by a car, I know this is also a problem in China. If you're hit by a car and people see you, they'll go on about their day, mind their own business, and that is scary and horrible. And I know for a fact that it's that type of society that is going to stop any of them from making it into heaven. And I just, wow, for me, it's just like, I've heard a phrase that said, Japan, oh, the people in Japan are a wicked race. Oh my goodness. When I heard that, I was like, okay, you're being a bit dramatic. But then a Japanese person literally proved that with their video, showing how they care more for the reputation of Japan than for like the individuals of Japan. And for me, that was one of the eye-opening moments that just made me feel like, oh, okay, so this is how it is. And also the way that they treat foreigners, I don't want to get into it, but it's just like, it was eye-opening. And I think the YouTube channel was, what was it? Let's ask Shogo. Yeah, they're very unhelpful individuals because they don't view each other as an. Okay, the second video that I watched that inspired this video as well was by Let's Ask Shogo. So the title was Why Bushido is the Root of All Social Problems in Japan. And there's a certain timestamp, which you'll see if you watch the video, that just talks about collectivism and the fact that it roots from their traditions. It is fundamentally like I don't know how to explain it. Like, it is deeply rooted in the society to just follow hierarchy, right? And this goes back like centuries, right? And it's also the same issue that religions have, but I don't want to get into religion because I don't want to judge anyone, because it's literally not my place. It's not your place. It's not any of our places. And just judging other people's religions and things like that will cause problems for each one of us, because the Bible does say the same way you judge others, you will be judged. But I just want to put it out there that racism it's obviously a problem. You know, I'm sure God definitely doesn't stand for that, for being prejudiced and literally judging other people, but it is deeply ingrained and rooted into Japanese culture and a lot of Asian cultures. I don't know about Buddhism, but I do know about Hinduism, that they have the hierarchy based off of your skin color and things like that. It goes really deep, but that's not what, yeah, I don't want to go too deep into it. You can definitely do your own research, and I'm sure I'll leave links in the description. But in terms of the Japanese society, Japan has the highest rates of suicide in the world, and that should tell people something immediately. But a lot of their systems have not changed. It's very archaic, and I would even say that's like, I do believe in karma, but not in the word karma. I just think it's divine justice. You know, God is at work. But now, if something is wrong and you're doing the wrong thing, of course you can have very bad things happening to you. And I know that these bad things that happen in Japan cause them to have the mindset of collectivism, like you have to live for the greater good of everyone else, not just for yourself. You know, they're covered in volcanoes. They're an island far from other people, other countries. So it's a situation of their food is expensive, the social pressure is a lot, and now it's just like suicide on top of that. It's just it's crazy, and it just kind of shows like we really are in the end days, and it's either things are going to change or they might get worse, or it might stay the same, which in my opinion is just it getting worse. So I hope things get better. I know this was very long and rambly, but yeah, we just need to notice things in society and just try to be the change that we want to see. And I hope you took something out of this video. Please enjoy your day, have an amazing day, and try to be an amazing person.